On this particular day, I finally got up and I was flying above the water. I got quite a ways out there and it ended in a spectacular crash.
I'm trying to figure out why it would make sense for a 13-year-old to need a watch like this. Jim's like, this is gonna give him an edge and be able to train and get ready for his sports.
I was on my way home with my son Parker. At the time, he was 9 months old.
There was one morning I had these incredible heart pains and I was short of breath and we were walking up this hill. My watch just kept dinging at me and it was like, you have elevated heart rate. What's going on? I'm like, I'm just walking, That heart rate alert just kept going off and off. And I was like, okay, this isn't normal,
It was probably about a mile offshore. This kite is, bobbing underwater and the lines are underwater and it's all wrapped around the fin. So I sort of swallowed my pride and began to gather my gear to do what's called a self-rescue.
Jim had come downstairs and told me that, hey Dad, this is really weird, but look at my watch. It's showing my heart rate is, 150 beats per minute. So we called his doctor. She said, you need to just take him to the hospital.
We were stopped at a red light. Out of nowhere, completely blindsided, Parker and I got hit by a drunk driver going 62 miles an hour.
I go get the scan, and sure enough, they find a bunch of clots in my left lung. And they rush me out of there immediately. They're like, stay put, don't move. These things can dislodge at any second.
I kept swimming and it didn't seem like I got any closer. And I looked at my watch and thought, wow, I'm gonna try this out. I hadn't even tried a call from the water. Called my son. He was able to text me the number for the rescue boat.
It was weird. They just started filling the room. So I go from having 2 nurses and a cardiologist and the attending emergency room doctor in there to suddenly more and more people are getting in there. By this point, his heart rate was just going, 175, 180 beats per minute, and it just steadily staying there.
The only thing that I could comprehend was sound. And in that moment, I grabbed down and I felt my wrist and I felt my watch. And I immediately said, hey Siri, call 911. The ambulance was able to ping where I was at, and the police officer was able to hand us over to the medical team.
Yeah, so when I found out that I had the clots, my entire life flashed in front of my eyes. The main doctor at the ER was like, if you waited a couple days, you probably would not have made it.
They were getting ready to push another medication, and then the cardiologist comes in there. He looked at me and says, I just want you to be prepared. If this does not work, you're gonna be airlifted. And it just kind of hit me how serious this was. Everybody in that room was just quiet. Just watching that monitor, all staring at it. And then all of a sudden, came down, and he was okay.
The Apple Watch enabled me to take control of my situation, whereas previously, I wasn't able to do that.
It saved my life. It saved Parker's life.
That was hard. To the idea that I almost lost him. So it makes me appreciate him a little bit more.